Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming back with us today at 3 o'clock. This is the Licensing Subcommittee decision on Thursday, the 11th of November 2021, in the matter of the Licensing Act 2003, application for review of a premises licence for the Quickie Mart Food and Tipple 111 to 113 Albert Road, Southsea, PO5 2SQ. All parties shall receive written confirmation of the decision and reasons. This is the decision. The subcommittee has considered very carefully the application for a review of premises licence at the Quickie Mart Food and Tipple. It gave due regard to the Licensing Act 2003, the licensing objectives, statutory guidance and the adopted statement of licensing policy. The subcommittee considered the relevant representations, both written and given at the hearing by all parties. Human rights legislation and the public sector equality duty has been borne in mind whilst making the decision. The subcommittee noted that the application was made by a local resident raising concerns regarding the prevention of crime and disorder, public safety and the prevention of public nuisance. The issues raised relate to late night noise and disturbance from people gathering outside the store throughout the week, drinking alcohol purchased in the store and causing general antisocial behaviour. There had been representation from additional residents, a local ward councillor and the licensing authority as a responsible authority. No formal representation has been made by other responsible authorities, notably the police. A residential representation in support of the premises, but still detailing issues, and a representation expressing support from a local business were also noted. The solicitor for the premises licence holder submitted written representations in advance. Video footage taken by residents was shown to the subcommittee and it was determined that it was in the public interest that this be viewed with the public excluded for that part of the hearing. It came to light that several clips, while submitted to the authority in advance of the hearing, had not been disclosed to the premises licence holder. Accordingly, the opportunity for adjournment was offered in today's hearing, but also for longer, if needed to address the evidence. Issue was raised regards the viewing of the footage when the person producing is not present and the incidental filming of inside the premises. The subcommittee considered the issues but decided it should continue to view the footage as it was clearly relevant and internal filming of the premises was likely based on the description due to de minimis. After having heard all of the above evidence and considered all of the options set out within the legislation, ranging from taking no action to the revocation of the premises licence, the subcommittee determined to restrict the sale of alcohol so it is prohibited between the hours of 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. every day of the week. In addition, the premises will be subject to a condition requiring 2 dedicated SIA registered door staff to be on duty between the hours of 8 p.m. and 2 a.m. the following morning on Friday and Saturday. For the avoidance of any doubt, the door staff cannot also fill the separate pre-existing requirement that a personal licence holder be present. Reasons. The subcommittee accepted that it had to make a determination on the balance of probabilities where the licensable activity at the premises, the sale of alcohol, was also contributing to the antisocial behaviour identified in the written representations, video footage and oral evidence. The footage showed various antisocial behaviour, including urinating in the street, begging, noise nuisance raised from raised voices and amplified music, and various forms of intimidating behaviour, particularly extreme intoxication. The 2 clips shown to the subcommittee show people enter the store and return to hand out what in the subcommittee's view is clearly alcohol to those outside the premises. Many of the residents' representations allude to this behaviour, but it is noticed that one in particular states that she has witnessed people buying alcohol in the store and then returning to purchase more when it had been consumed outside. As a result, the evidence combined with the subcommittee was satisfied that the evidence did show, on the balance of probabilities, that alcohol was indeed being purchased within the store and by those outside the store, causing nuisance and disorder. Accordingly, it is agreed that the causal link between the licensable activity and the nuisance has been established, and it is entirely in accordance with the guidance and the Council's policy that it should act to address the impact upon the licensing objectives. The subcommittee concluded that the cases referenced established a legal principle that allowed such action to be taken in these circumstances, even if occurring remotely. In the case, the nuisance is clearly directly outside the premises. It is accepted that there are distinguishing features between this case and the cases cited. It was also accepted that the ASB is not entirely attributable to these premises, there being a number of factors including the consumption of alcohol elsewhere, drug use in the vicinity, and systemic issues of homelessness and begging. However, the subcommittee was satisfied that it was appropriate to take the steps it had to address the extent to which the sale of alcohol at the premises was aggravating these issues in this particular location during the times identified. To the extent that this action can be possibly viewed as a departure from guidance or policy, and it is not necessarily accepted that it is, for example, the guidance noting that the premises ordinarily ought to be allowed to sell alcohol during the hours that they are open, the subcommittee feels that the levels of the disturbance, anxiety and fears caused by the issues in this location, twinned with the clear evidence presented, justified the measured approach taken and would justify any departure. To be clear, the subcommittee did consider all of its options and discussed during deliberation more restrictive action. However, due regard to the financial implications of any decision were duly noted and carefully considered. The hours imposed will bring the premises in line with the nearest off-licensed premises and therefore may reduce the draw to the Quickie Mart at later hours for alcohol or otherwise. It was argued that representations or evidence ought not to be considered if the proponent was not present to be questioned. There is a right of appeal for all parties to the Magistrates' Court within 21 days of formal notification of the decision. The decision has no effect until the expiry of the appeal period or, if lodged, the determination of any appeal. Thank you very much for your attendance today. This is the end of the meeting. Thank you.